Part of something larger than ourselves. A new world order.
Hello YouTube, here we go again. The crack is we need to introduce these people and give us a lowdown on what's been going on in their lives over the last 3.5–4 months. If you could all introduce yourselves.
I'm Chad.
Squeeze in a bit, Chad.
Susan.
And Susan.
Glynis.
Kenny. And Kenny. Now this is a family that are being harassed by the system, i.e. the police, the council, and being ripped off by, well, with their own house by a mortgage company called Redstone. Right, it's a pretty horrific story. Obviously the videos before this one will tell you all about what's gone on so far, but right now we need to expose what's gone on since the videos that we've already released and the harassment by the police towards Glynis's family. Right, if we could start with you, please. So, Susan, sorry.
Yes, thanks.
Right. So, straight away, we need to fire straight into the fact that the police came round to your house 2 days ago. Is that right?
On Thursday night when I was putting the beds to bed.
Thursday night. What date is that?
The 11th of June.
11th of June. That was 16th of June, is it? No, yeah. So right, what happened when the police came out to see you at your house?
Well, I was like I say, I was putting the beds to bed and I heard a bang.
At the door, yeah?
At the window, I think.
Yeah, you'll have to speak up a bit
Sorry.
now as well. That's alright, mate.
She's deaf as well. I'm partially deaf in both ears and
Yeah.
I couldn't really hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
And the next thing I knew, they'd bashed the door in. And they said that they were coming to arrest us for non-attendance of court.
The non-attendance of court, that was to do with a so-called driving offence.
Yeah.
Alleged driving offence, yeah. Right, I understand you was going down the lines of Freeman law and the fact that you was trying to tell them that under Freeman law that you have the right to travel from A to B, and you wasn't driving,
yeah.
You was travelling from A to B, and you was trying to practice your common law right to do exactly that. You've been told you had no insurance and no...
And he said I had no insurance and MOT, and
right.
I said that I didn't want to give me date of birth.
Right.
So they basically arrested us
Yeah.
for that. And then they said that they would give us a date for court.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard anything.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I found in the note I found a time and a date. So we'd gone there and no one had called my name. They'd gone to like the desk and said no one of that name.
Yeah.
So we hung around for a bit and we're like, well, what do we do? So there's nothing else we could do really.
Yeah.
So we left, and like I said, the next night they came right down my door. All I had on was a dressing gown, but I didn't even have a belt round and a pair of pants. And my children my little girls are 5 and 12, and the whole thing was horrific. So I went upstairs to try and put some clothes on.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly how it happened, but he put the cuffs on us, and then he like clamped down on the cuffs, and he looked us in the eye, and he dug his nail in my hand, and he scraped across my hand. And then they like dragged us downstairs by the cuffs.
Yeah.
It's just literally dragged us down and must have bashed us all over the place.
Right, look, can I just touch on the fact that this is a completely different address to Glynis's address, the house that's been seized by the police and the bailiffs, Redstone Mortgage Company. Yeah, so you're at a completely different address. The police on a civil offence have come to your house to now arrest you for having no
insurance.
For no insurance on your car. It's a complete civil offence. Now, what this lady's going to explain next is absolutely outrageous what's happened there. So they came to your house, put the cuffs on you, they grabbed you by the cuffs, the middle of the cuffs, and dragged you down the stairs.
You dragged us down the stairs.
Right, at this point,
out into the street.
At this point, did they give you any chance to get dressed?
No.
None at all?
None at all.
Did they show you any warrants?
Didn't show us a warrant, didn't show us any ID. I had no idea. As far as I knew, there was 2 men dressed in black, came with guns, and my parents were screaming. It was awful.
They came with guns. Listen, if this ever gets too much for you, please say it and we'll pause the camera, please do. Because I don't want to stress you out too much. So the traffic police, which is what it should have been, the traffic police, should have come round your house, and it wasn't. It was, in fact, you were saying about it being
Cleveland
police?
Special Operations Unit.
Yeah, with firearms while children are in the house. So,
just screaming.
So just to clarify, I've actually seen this footage of the police coming and arresting Susan, and it's absolutely horrific. And when we release this video footage, I think the general public are going to be absolutely shocked that the police have put Susan's kids through such a traumatic experience.
They left them in the house, with the door bashed in, by themselves, and my youngest is 5, and she's never slept alone. She always goes to bed with me, and she had to sleep by herself.
Yeah.
But they left them with the door bashed in, alone in the house, and I was so worried.
Could I just ask you, how old are your children that the police left in the house?
5 and 12.
On their own?
On their own.
With no adults to help them?
No.
Unbelievable. I don't know how this is going to affect the kids in the future, mate.
Broken down door.
With a smashed down
Smashed in door.
Saw them on the dragged off.
So, right, they got you in. They got you to the vehicle then that they was going to take you away. And what happened after that?
I remember seeing that I felt sick and that my arm was really hurting, and I was like struggling to breathe. So all around here was hurting, and I don't remember after that.
Around your rib
I
cage,
I must have blacked out, because the next thing I remember is a car door being opened and I fell out onto the ground.
Yeah.
Then some people picked us up and like dumped us in some kind of office, which I now know to be the
Custody.
custody place of the police station.
Yeah.
And then I must have blacked out again, because the next thing I knew I was in a cell naked with a blanket over us, and I had all like bile all in my hair. And
So they'd stripped you naked?
Stripped us naked.
And put you in a cell. You've been in and out of consciousness and you don't know why.
I don't know why. All I would do was shout help, and I must have gone in and out of consciousness many times. Somebody came in, which was what must have been hours later, and said, I need help, please take us to hospital. I was begging, please take us to hospital. And I was struggling to breathe all the time. A police woman came in, and she like looked at us, and she says, well, your wrist doesn't look broken, but you'll have to hope for the best, but there's nothing we can do about your wrist. Either way. I said, please let's go to hospital. She said, wait, have you been taking drugs? Have you been on something? And I don't put any poisons into my body.
Yeah.
I don't even eat anything with flavourings or colours in.
So you don't touch
Nothing.
alcohol?
I don't drink alcohol.
Or?
I don't take any drugs, not even prescription drugs.
Yeah.
I don't even take paracetamol.
Yeah.
I'm trained aromatherapist, so I don't put anything bad in my body.
I was going to kind of touch on that about your skills as a person, being a therapist.
Well, I've never been a
registered carer.
Yeah, I'm a qualified youth worker. I've been a registered carer. I've been a residential social worker.
Yeah.
I homeschool my children, and I've been police checked since I was 12.
Yeah.
My mum's a specialised foster carer, so we've all kind of you know, we've always been on the straight and narrow, as it were.
Yeah.
And I've never even been pulled in my life. I've never been arrested before.
You've got no criminal record
No
and
criminal
nothing.
record whatsoever.
So they come in your house with a just to brief it on. So you're a fully qualified carer. You work with the social services.
Adults with learning difficulties.
Yeah. And is there any other sort of qualifications you've got in that field?
I'm a complementary therapist as well. That means that I'm qualified for aromatherapy, massage and reflexology.
Yeah.
So
So now you've got all these skills, you've never broke the law, you haven't got a criminal record, you don't touch, drink or drugs, you keep yourself fit and healthy, and here we are, armed police turning up with 2 children in the house to arrest her for a civil matter. A civil matter. What is going on with this country? I want to go on to you got into the cells at this point. You kept waking up. You woke up the first time and you had all bile in your hair.
yeah,
You were stripped completely naked.
I was naked with a blanket over us.
With a blanket over you, yeah.
And I must have blanked out several times. And at one point during the night, I remember like hallucinating, like seeing gargoyles in the walls.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was the matter. I was just begging to go to hospital, just please, just take us to hospital, just help us.
Me and Chad were aware that she didn't have any clothes, and we drove down to Dalton Police Station with the bag clothes for her.
Yeah.
And we spoke to the inspector when we were down there, telling them that we had the clothes for her. And apparently she didn't get them until 10 minutes before they took her away in the morning.
Before they were.
So they left you naked with just a blanket for over 24 hours.
At some point, they'd put a pair of tracksuit, no, not a tracksuit top, like a tracksuit top over me head, but it wasn't on us.
Yeah.
And then before they were taking us to court, they threw some clothes at us. I said, look, I can't get dressed, I need help, I need to go to hospital.
Yeah, for your
somebody please help us. And for at least an hour, I was crying and banging, and I said, look, I need a female officer to help us get dressed, please.
Yeah.
And somebody came in and said, there's a buzzer on the wall. I was unable to get up. Never mind, dress myself.
Can I just say at this point, the injuries that I see, and they are registered at the hospital, there's bruises on her arms. You can actually see grip marks around the forearms, where the bruising of the forearms.
Bum mark up here.
Yeah. What we'll do, we're going to take some photographs of this, so we're going to add them to this video, some of the injuries, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I still can't use this, basically all this side.
Yeah.
My foot. We thought when I went to hospital, because we went to hospital straight after court,
yeah.
They had to take x-rays of my chest, my shoulder, my arm,
yeah.
my hand and my foot, because the doctor thought they were all broken.
I'd just like, before we go on to the hospital appointments, I'd just like to talk to you about the judge and his attitude towards you when you got put in front of the courtroom.
Well, even before I went to court, when they were taking this, there was a woman, and she was lovely. The lady who came with the van, she said, look, this girl she's not fit for court.
Yeah.
She said, there's 25 steps that they need to climb. And she said, she looks like shit. She's not well. And they said, well, it's either she stays here till next Monday, and this was Friday, like I'd been there since Thursday night and Friday morning.
Yeah.
And they said, they stay till Monday, or she has to sign to say she can go now. It's your choice. So
they were trying to rush you through, basically, so you didn't have to see a doctor. Did you actually see a doctor?
No, I didn't see a doctor at any point.
Even though he was asking for one while he was in the cells there.
Did they read you your rights?
They read us my rights at some point in the morning.
Yeah, the next day they read you your rights.
So
it wasn't even done properly.
Somebody had come in, and he was flicking on the lights on and off and on and off, and that's when he read us my rights. And I was in no state. I don't know what he said.
That sounds like literally torture. That does, like the sort of thing they use in Afghanistan, and you know, it's flicking the on and off the lights, stripping you naked, leaving you in a pool of your own sick on the floor in the cell. You know, refusing to not let you go to court on the Monday, because you need to see a doctor before then, but they kind of forced your hand into going to court before you was examined, so it wasn't on. So it then wasn't on record while she's in the police station, where she'd received all these injuries. You've also got bruising to your ribs as well. I just thought I'd mention that.
I've been all this side, and my ribs are all up here and on the back, so
so
really painful.
And bruising and stuff. So you've had a bang to the head at some point as well, haven't you?
I think. Like I said, they literally dragged us downstairs by the cuffs. I mean, it happened so quickly. It's awful.
Yeah.
But
it's not awful. It's worse than that. It's absolutely damn right. Fucking outrageous, man.
Monsters.
Then when I got to court, they shouted, "Stand in the corner."
Yeah.
And then I couldn't hear what they were saying because I'm partially deaf. So I wasn't with it then.
You were still concussed, probably, suffering from concussion at that point.
And I don't know what was said or what wasn't said.
It was quite obvious.
Well, it's hard to hear in Peterlee Court anyway, because there's a glass surround like the dock, and it's big, wide, thick glass, so you can't hear if you're able-eared anyway. Never mind got partial deafness. Not a chance of hearing.
Anyway, the judge basically ordered you to stand in that corner, being quite pushy about. He was being biased himself. He didn't take any notice of the injuries.
And I didn't hear very well, but they said that he said he looked a bit uncomfortable there. And he was laughing.
While he said it,
And that's Magistrate Minto.
Magistrate Minto thought it was a funny thing that you stood in the court house looking uncomfortable with the way you stood and the pain that you was in, the injuries you'd received off the police.
He was very condescending. He was making out as though Susan was putting on that you couldn't hear. And he was deliberately like speaking up as though now like to
belittle. But so they then released you from court, then, did they? And did they give you another court date?
Yes, another date. 17th of September.
17th of September. Where's that going to be? Because I'm sure people may well turn up in Peterlee. Magistrates in Peterlee. What date is it?
17th of September.
17th of September. Hey, if anybody can be there to give this lady support, it'd be much appreciated, I'm sure, by the whole family. Anyway.
My friends took us straight to Bishop Auckland Hospital from there.
Right.
And the doctor examined us and said, you need to go straight to Durham because we don't have the facilities here. You need to have a brain scan and you need to have lots of x-rays done. So rather than having some done here and then some done there, just go straight down. So we went down to triage, and the triage said, well, no doctor from Bishop can order me to give you a scan, and they didn't give us one. And then
so they refused to give you a brain scan the first time round. You mentioned something about the doctor saying something to you about that someone ordering them.
He said he can't order me to give you a brain scan.
Right.
So I'd gone home, and later on the next night I'd gone to the toilet, and I'd all of a sudden I hadn't been well all that time. I've been getting carried around basically.
Bear in mind,
only able to stand up.
Me and Kenny, when she come out of the court, had to practically carry her from the inside the court to the car, and then when we got to Bishop Auckland Hospital, we had to actually get, she collapsed in the car, and we had to get somebody from inside to come out with a wheelchair to take her in.
So I was still blacking out.
And they refused to give her the scan.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? I don't know, maybe the hospital's working in collusion with the police in order to cover over your injuries, but
but I ended up back in hospital the next night.
The next night you went back again?
Because what happened was, I went to the toilet, and I was feeling really dizzy, and I went all cold apart from this area here, went all hot, and then all this side of my head was numb, and I collapsed, and apparently I was just talking complete gibberish and saying that I had a cheese face, and just completely like as though I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Just delirious.
Laughing and crying and...
Yeah, in shock by the sounds of things to me, like, yeah.
So the paramedic came, and he was like, well, why have you been let out of hospital? Why haven't you had a brain scan? You need to go straight down. I was like, I can't go down. I've been in hospital for hours and hours and they've done nothing. So he said, no, you need to go now.
Yeah.
You need to go now. He says, all this, I need you straight down there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
did he say anything about shock himself, the paramedic? Did he mention anything about that?
Yeah, he said, you're obviously in shock, your body's reacting, and the pain that you're in, your body obviously can't take it.
Yeah.
And you need to be treated. So we're taken by ambulance down to Durham Hospital again, where we waited another 4 hours, which apparently I blacked out again at the hospital.
Yeah.
And then they did a brain scan.
You actually got your brain scan. This is what, 2 days later, was it?
Yeah, which took about 30 seconds. Luckily, there was nothing wrong. There's nothing there, which I'm so pleased about.
Yeah. So it's made more down to trauma than anything.
The doctor who saw us that time was full of apologies. Yeah. He said, I can't believe this has happened to you, I'm so sorry. He said, yeah, I'll put as much information in your notes as I can. He says, the shock and trauma that you've suffered will be ongoing. He said, you can't be alone. You need to be supervised constantly for at least 4 or 5 days in case this happens again. He said, and if it happens again, you need to come straight back. He said, because there might be something else. We need to do more investigations.
Yeah.
But
you got to remember, people, this is somebody who hasn't got a criminal record at all. You're somebody that's worked with the system, for how many years since you was a teenager? You've got involved in.
Since I was 12.
Helping people.
And I'm 36-year-old now.
Yeah.
So years and years of helping other people,
and you get trapped like this over no insurance on your car.
The thing is, I've done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I've hurt no one, and they've hurt me, and they've left me kids. Me kids traumatised. My littlest ones have nightmares. We can't go home.
Do you need to break? Are you okay?
Okay. Sorry.
If you need to break, just tell me, please.
Okay.
It's outrageous, I'm telling you, man. It's made me almost cry when I saw the video footage of this lady's arrest. It is absolutely fucking outrageous. Excuse my language, public. But, so right, how are the kids feeling about this? What's going on with the kids?
They've just been so scared.
Yeah.
They're afraid to go back to the
They
house.
don't go back to the
They
house.
won't go back to the house
They
now.
don't want to go there.
Outrageous, isn't it?
I mean,
Traumatised.
luckily, I'm staying with my sisters, and because I still can't use this arm, I can't grip at all.
Yeah.
And I'm still swollen, and I still can't use this leg.
Yeah.
And so basically, everyone's just been helping us around and helping us to be fed and looking after the children.
Yeah.
And I feel so useless.
You're not useless by far. I just hope that people can.
I feel like I'm being victimised.
Well, it definitely sounds like it to me. It's like, Glynis, your house has been taken off you, and it seems to me like the police themselves are now harassing your family in order to get you to leave the property, which, Glynis is living in the garden at the moment, aren't you, mate?
I am.
You've got paperwork to prove that you actually own this land, isn't it?
Title absolute.
It's
Yes.
Title absolute.
Title absolute, of course.
Yeah. And you've got the paperwork to this.
Absolutely.
And the land that the house is on, I mean the mortgage company is selling the house, but you actually own the land, and you own the house anyway. You've been conned out of your house.
I have been
which is there's explanations on that in the video again, like I say, before this video that you can see and hear about, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to be said yet. So now, what do you think about this, having the police put your grandkids and your daughter through this
frightening.
trauma?
It's frightening.
the first thing you think is she being victimised because of me?
Yeah.
You know, we're behind the fence still in mortal fear of being attacked again.
Yeah.
And when I heard the children crying on the phone where the man was, it was horrendous. But I couldn't come out because we've been watched and victimised and controlled by, because we put a few complaints in ourselves. So did Susan.
Yeah. Could you speak up just a little bit?
Sorry.
The microphone might not pick up. That's all, mate. It's cool, man. But
Sorry.
yeah. Please don't be sorry as well, eh? We need to get this out here, we need it loud and proud, eh?
The police are constantly around.
Constantly.
You see them walking around all the time, and they've been around the other daughters' house as well.
So you've got 2 daughters, as far as I understand, right? Now, are you the youngest daughter?
No, I'm the second.
You're the second youngest, so you're now staying at your sister's, which is the youngest
I'm
daughter?
staying at my elder sister's house.
Yeah.
Even now, apparently, I mean,
You've still got police.
walking
around now your other daughter's house.
Yeah.
So now we've moved on from harassing you to harassing your
Possibility of a next victim.
Yeah.
There'll be a next victim.
Yeah, and you
We're
are
all in mortal
expecting this
fear.
now.
Mortal fear.
Pure harassment by Durham Constabulary. According to a chap that I know who's ex-police, Metropolitan Police, as far as he understands it, with the police force up in Durham, they're the most corrupt police force in the whole country. So there you go, there's a bit of information for you people as to what to possibly expect. These people need people on the ground. We need people to be coming up and staying on the land. There's also adjacent to their back garden that they own, there's also public land there that people can camp out on. We need bodies up there, so if they do try and make a move, we've got enough people there to try and stop them, because as I understand it, from coming and visiting you the day before yesterday, the security turned up with dangerous dogs. One of them was a pit bull.
I think they said there were 2 pit bulls, 2 huskies and a Rottweiler. The fellow from Luton, come all the way up from Luton.
Yeah. Was it Canine
Security?
Canine Security from Luton.
Which work quite closely with Redstone Mortgages.
Yeah.
And Redstone Mortgages.
So they basically tried to gain access into the back garden, didn't they? And intimidate you with the dogs to get you to leave.
Even the security that's in my house now.
Yeah.
I've got 4 men morning, 24
hours.
Night.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely terrified because they had no idea what this guy was doing outside with 4 dogs in the van. And we called the police. We had to call the police on them.
And how did the police react with that?
Well, this were at 11:45 at night. Right? They come to
the 11:45 at night. They came with 4 dangerous dogs. 2 of which are on the dangerous list anyway.
Yeah.
We're up to the point where they bought the dogs. The police had let the guys go from the security firm. And what, the police left? Did they have anything to say once
they just drove off, but the guy said we want to make me mate on me boss. Yeah. So we were just thinking how many of these more dogs and...
Keep an eye on that, Dave, please, mate. Cheers, buddy.
How many people were come over my fence? Once again, we stayed up to about 2:30 till you ran.
Yeah.
It had no ending to this. We didn't know what was happening.
The police never gave us a summary if they were coming back, if they'd gone, or anything. They just left us in fear.
Yeah.
We sat for hours waiting for the guy coming again.
Yeah, and then earlier that day, on the afternoon, a fella come and he said he was a asset manager, because on the day before that we had a caravan donated, and that's on the land.
Yeah.
Now, he had come with a big flash Range Rover. Anyway, we wouldn't let him in, so we rang the police, and he said, well, if you're not going to take it off, we'll just drag it off. And they were just going to drag the caravan onto the road.
Yeah.
And
try and keep
try and get us back out of the garden again. Although the garden's ours on a different day to the house, sort of thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, completely.
That's
I totally understand what you're saying.
When the interceptors come.
Yeah, the police interceptors come. Oh, what about?
And what did the police do?
They charged in our garden.
Oh, they were armed as well.
They were armed.
Armed
Six-
police.
Yeah, they come as well. Go around again.
6 cars outside, all charged in. Channel 5 was recording. They were all armed, and we showed them once again the type absolute. And it must be a powerful document because they just backed off. But what would have happened
The mortgage company are trying every trick in the book, though, aren't they?
The guy with the dogs, the bank had sent him.
The bank had sent the guys with the dogs.
Yeah.
How do you,
The mortgage company had sent
Just said the bank had sent him to go into the house with the dogs.
And that's all they said. Do you need painkillers or something?
I don't want to, but I've got some homeopathy.
Yeah. You're looking quite a lot.
It helps with the swelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got, the paramedic said I've got whiplash, and that's why all this side's all stiff.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of trouble sitting still and then a lot of trouble moving around.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. But
I'm sorry to hear it, I really am. I wish I could get my magic wand and
I wish you could.
bless you with it, something like it. But yeah, so right, I want to move on to let me just have a look through my notes here.
Yeah, they came and started dragging stuff out of my mum's house, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to quickly touch on the fact that even when they come to the house, I'm just going back to the kids again and how they have got no sort of morals about themselves. This security firm that have been employed by the mortgage company on how they act with children around. You know, this is not just with the police; it's the bailiffs as well. Well, you touched on the fact that when they first come to the house to try and get you out, that the bailiffs had forced their way into the bedroom where the children were naked, and we was trying to get them dressed, and they wouldn't leave the room while he was trying to do this. Is that?
What happened is the police and the bailiffs would enter my front porch.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me back in to see to my grandson. It was special needs. And when I looked at the windows, the children were shouting at Nana out the window. They wouldn't let me back in. But what had happened was...
The bailiffs who were in the house had forced you out, and the kids were still in the house, and they wouldn't let you back in to go get the kids.
Yeah, it was 2 15-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and my special needs grandson. And my daughter was nearly 8 months pregnant. They wouldn't let... And then apparently they took the children, the bailiffs went in with the cameras or whatever, and they watched them while they got dressed. And
my pregnant sister had gone and
she begged them to leave,
said,
didn't she?
can you leave while I get my son?
Yeah.
They even handed out Kenzie his pair of pants, and he was naked.
They wouldn't leave the
They
room.
wouldn't leave the room.
Children were screaming at the window. You could see them crying at the window of the bedroom.
I was screaming downstairs, let me in. Let me in, he's so frightened.
This is horrific. I don't know. It's like our you know, this is gonna like run riot through your whole family. This whole experience, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I can see it is.
Kenzie's. They took him off as I haven't got him back.
This is fucking Britain we live in, man, and this is going on in our country, man. Anyone who think we're in fucking Bosnia or somewhere, man, or you know, Syria or somewhere, you know, I mean, you know, or Iraq or somewhere like that, you know, you just wouldn't expect it in this country whatsoever. This kind of behaviour of officials, so-called officials.
It's supposed to be there to protect you.
Outrageous. It really is annoying the hell out of me, and I hope to God it's annoying the hell out of people out there as well. So let's touch on some paperwork as far as how it's going so far. Right now, if you could just give us an update on what's going on with Glynis, maybe, and yourself, Kenny, on what's going on with the paperwork and the sale of the house and all this kind of stuff, and the fact that they've been, you know, just totally ignored all the paperwork and the courts.
Going back to the eviction, there was no actual warrant shown.
Never started paperwork.
We've been into court to have a look at the case management file to see if we could find the warrant. There's no warrant in there. And today I went back into court by myself and asked a few questions about the warrant. The stuff they weren't forthcoming. But I pressed them, and we might get a chance to see this warrant. But I've been asking around the Ministry of Defence to try and find out what the procedure is for a warrant, who has to sign the warrant, what authority needs to be given.
Right, well, after this video, I'm going to put you in touch with two ex-police officers who are going to be able to give you good and strong advice on what to do there. Like, after this video, we're going to go upstairs and ring these people on Skype, see if they're online, and give you a quick bit of information before you head back off to the war zone.
So,
yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to see the warrant, but I doubt we will, because they've never been forthcoming in the first place. So what we're going to try and do now is seek an injunction to try and stop the sale of the house. And if we're unsuccessful, when he does as many bodies as possible, to get down to the auction on the 23rd of June and put a stop to it.
Right, could you give us the address again, just for the viewers, of where this auction is going to take place, because we really do need people down there to try and disrupt the whole proceedings of the sale of this house, if possible. I'll apologise to the whole family myself, but on that day I'm having to go into the House of Commons and give a 3-minute speech. I'm just totally tied up. Now the auction starts in the morning at 10 o'clock. My speech in the House of Commons until I think it's 1:30, so I've got a few hours to hang about and hope the lot comes on, and I'm going to try and disrupt it myself, and I hope some people can come and help me do this, because I don't want to be sat on my own doing it.
It'd be much appreciated.
Right, so what company is it?
It's Bernard Marcus.
Bernard Marcus. Marcus. Yeah.
And it's have you got the address?
Hammersmith Auction Rooms.
Hammersmith Auction Rooms. Right, is that correct? Dave's on there.
2 seconds, I'll just double check for you.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
He's currently trying to empty the house, so it's easier to
there you are.
Yeah.
There.
You want to read that out to me?
Yeah. It's Grand Connaught Rooms, Great Queen Street, London. The postcode is WC2B5DA.
And the lot number is 177. Number 32.
No, 3, 2
and 3. Sorry,
23.
2 and 3. Sorry, yeah.
Bridge Street, Sunnybrow, Crook, DL15 ONA.
Yeah,
now,
we'll get some bodies up here, up that address as well on the same day. It'll be good help for us. So.
Yeah. 2 houses, they're selling 2 houses at the same time. 30 fucking grand. They must be taking the absolute piss. If the sale of this house does go forward, it'd be very interesting to know whether the council have actually bought it or the Red Rock Company have bought it themselves, in order to make plans for this so-called development that they are trying to pull off the local council. So, can we quickly touch on that, about the land surrounding your house? You've got a lot of green land around your house, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you were saying that they're trying to build houses on there for a housing development scheme.
Well, they bought the cornfield at the bottom of my street.
Yeah.
But it's a private road.
It's a private road.
Yeah.
So most of the residents have reached maturity. It looks like what could happen is if they got my house, devalued the whole street, and then got what do you call it?
Compulsory purchase.
Compulsory purchase.
Yeah, and you think that's probably what the council. And that's probably why your house is going for 2 houses right next door to each other are going for 30 grand to bring down the price of the houses in the area.
They're worth at least 150,000.
Oh mate, I can well believe it, mate. I can well believe it. So just to clarify before we end the video, this house was bought and paid for. You remortgaged it to help out with the local community centre, is that correct? Like a sports centre?
I bought the local gym.
When it was remortgaged, you've never actually get any money through into your bank.
No.
There was no consideration for the loan.
Yeah.
It was all done through solicitors, so there's no proof that she's actually getting any money from the mortgage company.
I had my loan with Beacon Loans, and as I signed my documentation, it automatically went to Redstone.
They just switched it straight over.
Straight over, the same day.
Yeah, and then right, we found out today, haven't we, Dave, that Redstones and this other company, they're in cahoots with each other anyway, aren't they?
Redstone's business model is buying up houses from the other mortgage company actually on the day when the mortgage is signed, and they've been doing that quite a lot since 2009.
Beacon Home Loans, actually, I mean, I've done some digging myself, and I found out the CEO of Beacon Home Loans is the same CEO as Redstones.
So they're all in cahoots then, aren't they? That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Dirty tricks campaign or what? Listen, right. I think have we covered everything that you guys want to cover? Because I don't want to stop here about you know. Can you think of anything else that you can tell the public about what's been going down before we cut?
It's one thing that hasn't been said is that this week there's the bailiffs from, is it bailiffs?
Yeah.
They've been coming in and trying to empty the house. They've been smashing up furniture.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, we.
I think we empty the house.
Yeah.
She wasn't
there was actually smashing your furniture up while you were stood there watching your own property being destroyed unlawfully.
Basically, all this is because so they can make a development at the bottom of the street. There's it's a cornfield. It's been paid for, apparently it was paid £2 million for.
Yeah.
And the green belt next to my mum's house was previously a street.
Yeah.
They knocked down part of it. There's only 4 buildings left. 2 of them's my mum's.
Yeah.
So all of that previously had planning permission.
Yeah.
So it would be very easy to develop that whole place and use this as an access.
Yeah,
it's landlocked.
Yeah.
It's landlocked too.
So they would have to have permission.
I'd just like to remind everybody that's watching this, Glynis were never in any mortgage arrears. There were never one late payment, and what happened is Glynis questioned her mortgage and the fees involved with it. Within 2 days they put a power of sale on the house, totally unfair.
So they'd already taken.
And that month's mortgage, the payment for that month had actually been paid 2 days prior to this power of sale. So there were no actual arrears, there were no reason why they should have done that.
Yeah.
At the worst thing possible, they should have wrote back to Glynis's question and said, look, we can't answer this.
Right.
There were no need for any power of sales or anything, it's all pre-planned.
Yeah.
And before the eviction, luckily we managed to hold back a bit on the eviction due to people's support and stopped it twice, but then they attacked unaware.
Yeah.
And there were no reason for it whatsoever.
But Glynis, can I just finish the whole video off with yourself? Just give a description about the sort of person you are and what you've done with your life. Just to sum it all up as to what kind of person you are and what you've gave to the community in your life and how it's all been ripped away from you.
Well, I was a specialised foster carer for 17 years.
Yeah.
Me and my partner. I was just looking after bad lads that deserved a little home.
Yeah.
We never let go of them. We always had, we took by them. They were brilliant kids.
Yeah.
Then the gym came for sale and we bought the gym. And more often than not we didn't make any money because we just let folks train for nothing. It's just a little village and there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
They just used to come and train.
How long have you been fostering for then?
17 years.
17 years you put your life into that.
Can I just say about my mum's fostering?
Yeah.
It's really painful to think.
Oh, bless you.
The lads, the kids who's been in my mum's house, it was a choice between my mum's or jail.
Yeah.
And my mum's helped so many kids over the years. She's been a mum to everyone.
Yeah.
The whole community, even continued that with the gym. I mean, she never had any money for it, you know what I mean? She's not a rich woman, she paid a mortgage, but she's never, you know what I mean, she's a good person. And
I believed in the system.
Yeah.
I believed it, because I mean, I haven't seen what the lads have come back with, mostly males. because they were brilliant, and we kept them out of the system as long as we could.
Yeah.
You know, don't send them to jail, so I'll have them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They're brilliant lads.
Heart goes out to you for that, man. Big time, because you know, I've been in that position myself. Jesus, there's so many kids out there that need help, like what Glynis has offered in the past to people, and it just absolutely disgusts me how such a
I'd like to say
such a citizen can be victimised by the system in such a way after trying to help, you know, the public out and people on a personal level, and giving up her life at home to help other people. To be treated like this is outrageous. Sorry, what?
I'd like to say she's a lovely lady with a lovely family, and she doesn't deserve this.
No.
And she needs as much help as possible. So, like, if you're out there and you're watching this now, please get out and please help her, because she definitely doesn't deserve this. And she's made me feel welcome. And even through what she's going through, she's made me part of the family as well. So, and everybody else who's come down to help.
All I can say is she's one of the best women you can possibly meet. You know, just cares for it, anybody and everything. It don't matter what. I mean, the house, when she had the house and everything, anybody could go and knock on a door, and you know, it was a house for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, if you had any upset, you could always talk to Glynis.
Yeah.
She'd sort it.
She's a social worker to an extent as well, then, unpaid social worker.
To the whole community.
No, just a mum.
Yeah, just a mum to everybody.
There's always a chicken in the egg.
Anyway, we need to finish this off now, because Glynis needs to get back to the house before, you know, anything could happen at any time of night or day.
And we hope to see some new faces.
Yeah.
Any help or information?
Anything. Yeah.
Right, over and out YouTube. Remember, we need people on this site as soon as possible. We need people to go down and see if we can stop the sale of this house in London. Over and out YouTube. Easy life.